Welcome to Motorcycles and Misfits. Coming to you from the Recycle Garage in sunny Santa Cruz, California. Hey, everyone. This is Liza, and we're getting the band back together.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
What are we going to name it?
Ooh.
I like Big Lucky and the Strikes.
Oh.
I always wanted to name a band Aqua Volva.
Big Red and the Kotex Kids.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Bunch of punk bands here.
Emma, what band name would you name a band?
Morris Oxford and the Shooting Breaks.
Wow.
Okay. Sure.
Album cover picture coming.
How about Jensen Interceptor and his two-door coupes?
I want to be.
I like the
coupe.
Muddy Helmet Troubadours.
God!
Can you explain that to me, Jim?
Okay. All right.
Can I give out the candy now? I have candy.
Well, on the board tonight, joining us, but you're going to be gone next couple of weeks. Is that right?
Yeah. Gone next week, anniversary, and then Jim and I are going to have our dirt extravaganza.
Yeah.
That's where the muddy helmet thing comes in. Is that
No.
Is it your dirt extravaganza or your soil extravaganza?
It's more the sandy, the sandy
my
taint.
goodness.
The sandy loam.
The sandy taint.
So, of course, that would be Stumpy John on the board. And coming back after missing us last week. Did you miss us last week?
I missed you terribly, Liza.
Of course,
And
it's
all the gang.
It's quite sad here.
It's Miss Emma.
Hello, darlings.
And you had a fan here today.
Did I? Oh, what, macaroon?
Cameron.
Yeah.
Macaroon.
No, I mean, anytime you get a kid come here and the first thing you say to a kid is, hey, give me all your money. And he's like, I haven't got any money. So we'll turn out your pockets, show me you haven't got any money. And he turned out all his pockets. And he clearly had no money. I said, well, go and get me some.
You shook down the 9-year-old?
He was 13.
Oh.
Well,
he left here in a biker leather vest, looking like he was ready for Terminator 5.
He did.
Give that kid a gun.
That's what he
Or
picked.
some brass knuckles.
Yeah.
and of course, back from his trip to Europe, it's Naked Jim.
Ciao, Bella.
Ooh.
I know. I learned more words than bada bing, bada boom.
So, just curious, Jim, when you were over in Italy, you saw a lot of scooters?
I did.
Did you think of Bagel every time?
I could not help but think of Bagel constantly. But I also thought of you, Liza, yes. I might get a bit emotional. No, not really. But you did watch my cat for a couple of days, and I really appreciate that.
No problem.
Well, that was last week when you were like, I think I was supposed to feed the cat.
Yeah.
Cat's not dead. The house didn't burn down. Life's good.
All is good. And of course, back from his rally, it is Bagel.
Greetings from my luxury shop, which smells like warm Heinkel.
Nothing like a warm Heichel.
Can I get that in a bottle?
Is that spreadable?
Yes, it is.
So, I mean, am I to deduce, Bagel, that you have been riding around on the Heinkel?
Yes, I have been Heinkeling.
Okay, very
The
good.
return of Heinkel Tom.
Okay.
Before you get
Several
too far,
miles this weekend.
I have a gift for you and Bagel. The scooters are crazy in Italy. Yeah,
Nice.
so I have a gift for you, Liza. It's very special.
Yeah?
It's the only made 1 year.
Ooh.
I can't remember. You have to read it. It's the Vespa 150 GS from 1955.
Do I have it? I have a
So
bunch
this
right
is
up there.
a scale model.
Let's see.
If
Is
you
it
do,
one
I'm going to
of
throw it
those?
out the window, probably.
Let's see.
Yeah, I'm going to toss it over to Emma because there's a few special things about it other than it's a scooter.
This is, ooh.
Oh, no, you haven't got this one, Liza.
Are you sure? I
Yeah,
gotta
I'm
see
sure.
it.
This is fantastic.
Yes,
And
that is the very first sports Vespa.
Yeah, and it's got the circular case between your legs, which I'm guessing is the auxiliary fuel tank.
Or a spare tire.
No, I
Oh,
don't
that's
think
a
it's
spare tire.
No, it's got a filler.
Oh, well, there's a spare tank in the spare tire.
Oh,
And of course,
Yeah.
we're talking about I think that's a 1/18th scale
Or a
toy.
32nd or something. It's small.
Yeah, it's a little tiny model.
do you have that one, Liza?
Oh, 1/32nd. I don't know. I have a bunch of Vespas right
That
above
thing in the
him.
middle defeats the whole purpose of having a scooter, doesn't it, though?
But it has lovely little
Oh.
love shaping around your legs and all that
Is
kind
that
of
a
stuff.
hat case?
You could put your hat in it, but it's probably smell of
But it's got the
petrol.
proper Italian box
yeah.
with the little holographic sticker.
Thank you so much. I
It
don't.
was the cheapest
think
one
I
they
have
had,
this one.
too. So.
Win, win, win.
But no, thank you for watching the cat. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And I got a bunch of candy from Scotland.
Ooh,
So everybody gets to pick one.
it's the bag of candy.
Yeah, yeah. It's
That's
kind of like
the
taking,
mole.
yeah, kind of like taking the shampoo, but you take candy instead.
Is Scottish candy better than Italian candy in general?
No, my God. I mean, the food in Scotland was wonderful. The food in Italy is amazing.
Oh, absolutely.
But the scooters in Italy is a whole next level thing.
And the coffee in Italy is great.
Oh, the coffee's bomber, too.
Well,
yeah.
I want to get back to your experience, but first I wanted to say, Emma and I, speaking of children, we both got in trouble today in the garage.
With children. Aren't
children.
you
You got in trouble.
200 feet away?
We both got yelled at, but I feel good because she got yelled at for doing something twice as bad as I did.
Well, it was just by volume. I mean, it was,
Knock brought Sullivan, who is 9, to the garage again. They have been riding the heck out of that Amigo around town.
I haven't been around, but I did see them run it out of gas today,
So,
which is awesome.
yeah.
because, I mean, Sullivan is kind of like a gender-neutral name. So Sullivan is an adorable 9-year-old girl. And she's really, really sweet. She's
great.
She's a nice kid. So what I'm eating, by the way, I want to make sure, because all our listeners from the other side of the Atlantic, I'm eating a Tunnocks caramel bar. And they turn these out by the gazillion in Scotland. And these things are friggin' awesome.
I'm eating a border shortbread rings.
Well, eat away, John.
The only reason there's one caramel bar is it was either 1 or like 30 in a tub.
How come I got Metamucil and a cracker? What the heck?
Exactly. I think there's
So anyway,
No, we want you to be regular.
So I got yelled at first because Sullivan was there, and thank you, Jim, brought a big box of donuts to the garage this morning. So of course, when a kid showed up, I'm like, "Hey, kid, you want a donut?" And I said, "Yeah." I sized her up. She's 9.
They were
I'm
good
like,
donuts, too.
Take the half a donut. So she gleefully skips out of the garage
She's
with
like,
a half
I
a
never
donut.
get this at home.
And Knock comes in yelling at me, "Don't give the kid sugar! What are you doing?" Like, he reamed me out. I'm like, it was just half a donut. And then a little while later, Emma comes through. She goes, "I got yelled at by Knock." I'm like, "What did you do?" She goes, "I gave her a whole donut."
Oh, no.
And I'm like,
Well, no, I mean, parental guidelines are an actual thing. And I mean, I'm the first to admit I've got no experience of small children. I tend to see them as just like little adults. And so, hey, kid, you want a donut? Kid says, yeah. What's wrong with that? But I didn't realize.
Or it's like, turn your pockets out, kid.
Yeah, right. It's like, hey, give me some money, kid. It's like, funnily enough, though, Dad thought that was funny when I asked the kid to turn out his pockets. But Evelyn, who is Sullivan's mother, initially took quite a dim view of us feeding Sullivan donuts because she was quite wired.
well, that's not. And I offered her a beer because I'm like, then you could say, well, the donut's not so bad now.
Well, I said if you fixed me a gin and tonic, then, that would offset the donut. But that went down even worse.
No, but so Cameron came by. Jake is his dad. So there were parents here. But Cameron learned how to ride a bike on the Amigo.
Yeah, he had a good time.
And between Sullivan and Cameron fighting over Amigo seat time, I mean, Knock goes out with her for like 3 hours tooling around on that Amigo.
Kudos to the Amigo.
And all I heard from Cameron, in between blubbering about me wanting to take all his money off him, was, when is the Amigo coming back? I don't know when the Amigo's coming. When's the Amigo? Is it time for the Amigo to come back yet? I don't know, Cameron. And then when the Amigo showed up, of course, his eyes lit up because he knew he was going to be riding it.
He reminds me a lot of me. When I was a kid, if somebody
You have a similar haircut, actually.
Yeah. If somebody showed up with a motorcycle,
Well, like pudding bowl on top of your head.
I mean, I'm talking like age 5 on. If somebody had a motorcycle, can I ride it? Can you take me for a ride? Can I sit on it? Can I touch it? What's this do? I was the relentless, and Cameron was relentless. Whose bike is that? Can you take me for a ride? How about that bike? Can you take me for a ride? And we all just learned, no. Shut him down. But I'm like, keep trying, kid, keep trying.
Yeah.
Because I would, every now and then somebody would go like, okay, that's how I learned to ride when I was 10. That's how I rode a GS when I was 12. Somebody goes, all right, kid, let's go.
And I mean, I was showing my age because, of course, they showed up and I go, oh, this kid looks just like Doogie Howser. And like, who the hell's Doogie Howser? You need to be a certain age.
Right.
And I think Jake hadn't even heard of Doogie Howser.
Yeah. Well, then he, I guess Jake taught him how to do the clutch on the Amigo.
Yeah, he did real well.
And he was riding it around, and he did his first wheelie by accident.
And looked absolutely terrified.
When he popped the clutch. And I keep reminding him,
But he
look
kept it
up,
upright.
because he kept looking at his hands.
Kept it upright.
So,
And he did. He rode it around. So congratulations, Cameron.
in keeping with me trying to do little improvements on that bike, there's something desperately wrong with the swing arm on that Amigo. And I haven't figured it out yet. I don't know whether it's a spacing. There's something desperately wrong with the swing arm because it steers both ends. And I want to try and stop it doing that. So next week,
Yeah.
we'll get the back end off the ground. I'm going to take everything apart. And I'm going to find out why it steers.
I think it's because it's pressed steel rear swing arm and it just has sway in it.
Might need some better
No.
shocks too.
No, I think there's something on the pivot. I think there's something about the pivot that's a little bit hokey. But we'll figure it out. We'll get there. Yeah.
That sounds like a bike that was on our rally this weekend.
Yeah, really? What happened?
Steering bearings were super loose.
Right.
I suspect they were probably worn, had never been lubed until the owner tried to do that recently, which made it quiet, but still not handle well. Said that when he was in the twisties, the whole bike would just like wander around.
Well, I mean, that my opinion that all scooters are complete death traps when they're new. So, it doesn't take much to make them worse. Talking about death traps, what is that pile of rust over your right shoulder?
Oh, I don't think we've talked about that
No,
yet.
we haven't. I mean,
What is it?
It looks
That
like
is-
you just...
that
Was
from-
that on the Titanic?
From vintage motorcycle days?
That is not from vintage motorcycle days, but I picked that up when I was in Colorado.
Oh.
You picked
I
that up
haven't-
when you were at the bottom of the
I
Atlantic.
can't even tell what it is.
Well, what that is a Lambretta frame that was modified using plans that were eventually what became the Royal Alloy. And so the frame has been widened in the rear. The whole structural tube has been cut out from the center, and new steel tubing has been welded in place for a modern Vespa engine to fit in there. And this was originally built up as a bike with a GT200 engine. And I have the frame, the tank, some of the cooling system, and a headset, but none of the other parts for it. So it's going to be a project, and I'd like to see if I can fit a Vespa 300 engine in it.
So, just hang on a minute. So,
Yep.
So, am I to assume that the Royal Alloy is an English creation?
Yes, so in a way.
I thought it was Chinese.
Let me
royal.
tell you a story. So originally, the Royal, what became the Royal Alloy was developed by a company called Scomati, who were a group of people who were interested in building basically a modern Lambretta that would use it took a vintage Lambretta frame and modified it so that it would accept a modern Vespa engine. And they had gone through all the design, all of the R&D, all of the testing, and got a really solid platform and a design together. And when they went to shop around manufacturers in certain countries in Asia, the plans got taken by someone who went and started a company called Royal Alloy. So the original company,
Cutthroat
Scomati,
business.
yeah. So when this happened, the original company, Scomati, said, well, if you're going to steal our plans and build a bike out of it like that we were trying to build, we're just going to give our plans away to anybody who wants them. So a guy in Pittsburgh at a place called Iron City Cycles got a copy of the schematic plans and modified a Vespa or a Lambretta frame to spec for conversion to a modern Lambretta.
And that's what you've got.
And
which
that is what I've got.
conveniently answers my question as what is basically a prototype roller doing
Sort of.
doing
Yeah, I mean it wasn't made,
Oregon.
right. It wasn't made by the actual designers. It was custom built by a builder, but using their plans. So it essentially is a Royal Alloy frame for all intents and purposes.
Does it appear to have been done quite well? Because it looks quite rusty.
Oh, was it ever finished?
It was never finished.
There
I mean, it was welded up. The workmanship looks good. There are some parts in the front that are still a little Bondo covered and need to be, cleaned up a bit. But it's solid, and it's got everything that it needs. It was built up, so it should be possible to just build it all together.
Oh, good.
Once they have all the parts, and I'm hoping that a Royal Alloy fork may actually fit in there, so that I can put a 12-inch front wheel on it. So,
interesting. And you had a rally this weekend. Is this with your new club?
Yes, this was Top Dead Center's rally. It was called Run from the Sun. And this is the not only the 25th anniversary for the club, but the 25th anniversary for this rally.
Oh, nice! That's cool.
Because we actually had a complaint that we don't do enough scooter content on the show, and I think we do far too much already. So I'm going to squash that straight away because my dead body. No, I mean I think it's nice to talk about scooters. They're it's poor soul.
Well, what was the event? I'm curious.
Yes.
So Run from the Sun is basically the rally season ender in our part of the country.
Right. Welcome to wintertime.
Yeah, because the weather is pretty much not so great from here on out. So so usually late September we'll have this rally, and the idea is to ride from Eugene all the way out to the Oregon coast.
And how far is that?
Depends on where we go, but this time we went a little farther north. Almost up to Tillamook. So it was a good 2.5 hour ride to get there, about a little over 100 miles.
100-mile ride. How many deaths on this occasion?
0.
Oh, really? Oh,
well,
okay.
unless you count bikes, there were 2.
Okay.
both Lambrettas. One of them seized. The other one, I'm not sure what happened to it.
Oh, no.
But,
and you did this on your Heinkel?
I did.
And
I rode the Heinkel.
What's your top speed?
Top speed is around 55 miles an hour. I can get a little bit above there with the tailwind and downhill.
But, I mean, we already established, because we've talked about the Heinkel before, that it's not a high-speed machine, but it's a touring bike, and it's a very good... It's it makes that sort of like little purring touring noise, and you can cover quite good long distances on it at a lower speed.
Yeah, and it's nice and comfortable. And but it's a very heavy bike. Does not like the hills so much, but it gets through them. I rode it up the Pikes Peak. So
very good. And how many scooters were on this rally?
I think we had about a dozen bikes in all.
Oh, fantastic! And the only Heinkel was yours, of course.
Yes, the only Heinkel. There were several Lambrettas, a number of Vespas, and I think one or two modern bikes. But mostly vintage.
And mostly good eggs on the.
Oh yes,
yeah.
A great group. We had a wonderful time hanging out at the campsite. We basically camped from Thursday through Sunday, and went for rides during the day out to the coast, out to Tillamook, out to other little towns in the area. Got some beach food, and and then partied it up at night. Caught up with everybody, told stories, and talked scooters and tech geek stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, what do scooter people do when they party? Do they read dictionaries to each other and drink Perrier?
No. There's copious quantities of alcohol consumed.
Okay.
Usually a large fire involved.
I bet they smoke weed with Bigfoot.
It is possible. And but yeah, it's a great time getting together with everybody who's into the scooter thing, and a lot of great knowledge gets shared. Where people talk about how they did their builds, how they set things up, and you can hear people talking around the fire, just going nuts about like jetting and crank options and things like that. So there's a wealth of knowledge there.
Did they give out any sort of awards like the typical distance traveled or anything like that? Or
this time there weren't
oldest scooter.
Yeah, there weren't any awards this time. It's usually a fairly just low key kind of rally. Not a lot of concerts or events. It's just getting together, hanging out, and riding.
How was the weather?
The weather was a little damp when we got there. The ride up, it was pretty clear for about 2/3 of the way, and then the last third we kind of got rained on.
Yeah.
So it was, it's Oregon. You got to expect that. We got a little bit of rain over the weekend on Friday and I think Saturday morning, but after that it cleared up really nicely and had some beautiful weather the rest of the day, Saturday and today for the ride back.
Nice. Well, I wanted to share, Jim and I went for a ride yesterday. I wanted to give a little ride report. And it was actually quite a miserable ride. And which it didn't, when we were leaving Santa Cruz, it didn't seem any different than, any day. It wasn't particularly sunny, but we were just heading up into the Santa Cruz Mountains, up to Big Basin to go see where the fire came through a couple years ago. John, I'm sure you've probably been through there.
Yeah, I've been there.
But we hadn't been up into the park. And this was on a lot of the news when they had big fires, because this is a big park with big, giant redwoods. And as we were getting further and further up into the mountains, it was getting a little bit foggier and foggier until by the time we were in Big Basin, it was so thick with fog that we were just soaked. And it's like neither of us wore rain gear because it didn't look like rain. But, it's so, and cold. It got cold. So both wearing like gloves, it just got soaked. From the knee down, my pants were soaked. But we were both just happy.
Yeah, it turned out to be a
so
fun
funny.
ride.
Where I comes talking about it's so cold and I'm so wet. But I'm so happy to be riding.
Well, we were leaving the diner. We left after breakfast, and we looked at the sky. It's like, it might rain. And we're like, yeah, it might, but whatever. What are you going to do? And next thing you know, we went to Big Basin, which is a state park. Where in 2000, the fires burned through. And
2020.
2020, what'd I say?
2000.
Oh, I'm sorry, 20. Yeah. And, and there was a visitor center and buildings and all that
All
that was
gone.
destroyed.
Just gone.
And going up there, and there were campsites as you kind of got closer to the middle of the park. Mother Nature's taking it all back over. Like you would never know there were campsites. You can see if you knew where the visitor center was. You're like, oh, I can see where a building would have been, but you have no idea.
These big trees are blackened for the first 50 feet, but then there's
and they're leafing out. They look like
branches above
model
them.
railroad type trees. They're very fascinating. But yeah, they're all kind of growing back. But it was funny because we went from it was kind of a lovely 68 degrees in town to I can barely see. It's raining. Everything's getting wet. And your tire didn't help. Your tires were what? How old are your tires?
Oh, 10 years old.
Oh, nasty.
So I took the Triumph and he took the Africa Twin.
Actually, we need to get those tires on because you've got new tires, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got a plan.
Doing a lot of good in the hallway when we were on wet pine needles.
Yeah, right.
Going
I
through
can
the forest.
imagine.
But you know what? I just remember just having this moment where I'm like, I'm wet. I'm miserable. My core was still warm. And that to me is a trick. If my core is warm,
right,
I'm okay. But my hands and legs were drenched.
You're all spoiled. You got heated grips, heated
Not
seats.
on that bike.
That's what I mean.
I
You're all
know.
spoiled.
I had nothing. And I just him and I just chatting but I'm still happy to be riding.
It was fun.
It's like nice to have that attitude of we just love riding so much.
Right. And you told me you came up with sort of a revelation about the Triumph Scrambler, didn't you?
It's definitely becoming a little more Sprite to me once I'm really hammering it a little bit more.
But
right, the revelation. Yeah, I didn't even tell you this, Jim. I had a thought. I had a fleeting moment where I thought possibly this could be a forever bike. And that is something that that's hard for me to commit to a forever bike.
What makes that a forever bike?
But as I was riding it, I'm like, it's low, it's easy to ride, it's simple. I could see myself being 75 and riding that bike because it's just easy.
And to be fair, that bike, I'm not suggesting for a moment it was its target audience, but the Triumph the T100, the Scrambler, and the ones that have come afterwards, like the Speedmaster and the America, they're a very specific target audience, and it's a mature biker. And they're very cleverly designed bikes. And they're very easy to own, and they're very easy to ride. And so, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I was like, I could see this being a very just easy and comfortable bike to ride when you're older, So, yeah, good ride, but more so, I appreciate Jim, a riding companion we're just happy.
It's just nice to be out.
We're both like cold and wet, but happy.
Yeah,
it's riding as an attitude.
Nice to be out.
By the time we got back home, we had dried off.
It wasn't that bad. It was just more
it's just coming out of the mountain,
in a while, and there's like a bunch of shit on the road. But what are you gonna do?
Taking it very easy because the roads were wet, and then seeing other bikers out too. Mm-hmm. So it's like, hey, yeah, it was cool. Emma, I have a question. Where were you last week? You did a thing.
I've got a Scottish cookie in my mouth.
Oh, my heck.
A wee biscuit.
Oh, God, it's good. No.
Is that what they call it?
No, I'm going to read you. This is a border biscuit.
I just had one of those.
Yeah, it's made in...
Oh, I thought it was a cracker. Give me one of those.
No, it's like a shortbread thing.
No.
You get the mucilage.
It's made in Lanarkshire.
And dried milk.
And it's butterscotch flavour. You don't like butterscotch.
How do you know I don't like butterscotch?
I know these things. God, it's good. So I was back at the Jameson Museum. And the Jameson Museum's going through a lot of changes right now. It was founded by Neil Jameson. And dear Neil passed away a couple of years ago.
It's where we found you.
Yeah, it is where you found me. And the museum has been taken over by Neil's daughter, Stacey, who's a very, very good egg, and shares a great passion for vintage motorcycles, just like her dad.
Cool.
And she's had to keep the museum open, but it is changing. And Stacey's got her own vision for the museum. And it's taking some time, but she's, as she puts it, she says, look, this is still my dad's museum, and I want to make it my museum. So I helped her with the purchase of a 1910 Peugeot, which is her first bike that she's bought exclusively for the museum. It's an amazing bike. It's an original paint bike. I mean, the thing's absolutely wild. It's got acetylene headlights. And so, yeah, I'm going to be helping out. I mean, I'm not going to... my Sundays are always going to be the Recycle Garage and the Misfits. But I would like to spend a little more time at the museum and just help her navigate through the changes.
Do you have a bike on display in there?
I do. You know, I've been running out of space.
I was wondering.
No, I mean, to be fair, I made quite a big purchase because I've been buying things too. Bagel. And it's a bit bigger than yours. So I'm like, oh shit, I've run out of space. So I, as you know, I built a beautiful purple Trident, 72 Trident a few years ago. It's always been a crowd pleaser, and I thought, you know what, let's get it down the museum and people can enjoy it. Because the one vision Stacey has for the museum, she wants it full of bright colours, she wants it full of very, very colourful bikes, and just be, you know, a bright and joyful place when you walk in through the door. And what is more joyful than a purple Trident? Not much, I can tell you.
And that nice cream color, too.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like an Easter egg.
Was that the Roto-Rooter purple?
Yes.
That's not a stock color, is it?
It was always a purple bike. But Triumph Purple, they actually called it Jacaranda.
Okay.
Not Jackanory, which was a child's television program we used to watch when we were
Not
Jackalope
either.
No, Jackalope is something else. No, Jacaranda, it was kind of, there's a bit of metallic in it. And it was almost like an eggplant color.
Oh.
So
like that Honda color?
Yeah, almost. It's got that kind of, you know, eggplanty thing. And I thought, you know, I want to, because it was a purple bike when it was new, and purple is such an iconic 70s British color. I thought, you know, I want to really do it, but I wanted... When I restore bikes, I take a few liberties with the color. I always like stock graphics. But like the water buffalo, which I don't think you've ever seen the water buffalo.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I kind of turned up the wick on the flake a little bit. It was a metal flake orange bike from when it was new, but I kind of used a bigger, almost like bass boat flake on it, really to give it some pop. And I do stuff like that. So, but the graphics are stock. So if you know the bikes really well, you'll know it's a custom paint job. But if you don't, you're like, oh, that's stock. And so the Trident, I wanted to keep it purple and white, which is what it was when it was new. But I turned the wick up on the purple a little bit. And I just really like that Roto-Rooter purple. Now, for our European listeners, Roto-Rooter are the people who come out and fix your toilet when you break it. So when you've eaten too much Indian food and you break your crapper.
A little too much Vindapoo?
Yes, a little too much windy poo.
Wait, I think it is Roto-Rooter. That's the name. And you'll weigh your troubles down the drain.
Roto-Rooter.
Fantastic.
I did not realize there was purple in their logo. I was always red until you said the purple you found was in the Roto-Rooter logo.
And now you're looking at Roto-Rooter trucks and you see they have purple in their logo. So, yeah, that's the color of the Trident.
And it starts right up.
Oh, yeah.
First kick bike.
Oh, yeah. Always. So, that's where I was last week. And I spent a little bit of time down the museum. We were doing a little bit of tidying up. And really taking inventory of what's there and what's not there. Because
has much changed since kind of the last few years? Probably, I don't know.
Yeah, a little bit.
Water buffalo's still there?
Oh, yeah. The museum's a little more cluttered, which upsets me a little bit. So I think we need to focus a little bit more on actually getting stuff out so that you can see the bikes a little more. Because, you know, if you go through the attitude, we're going to get as much in here as possible, that's not always the best route because everything gets crowded and you really can't see the bikes. And if we get a little more out and get some really, really good quality bikes in, and just give people room that they can come in, they can walk around the bikes.
Is there a way for her to rotate things in and out? Does she have any sort of storage options like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she can move things in and out. And the big exciting news is they've got the RE5 rotary.
Oh, they do.
And yeah, they want me to do a restoration on it.
That's fun.
To a running bike. So that's going to be a nice project for me. So I'm going to be doing a full resto.
They need a website. They don't have one.
No, they don't. And they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, like I say, it's still, she's making this transition from being the Neil Jameson Classic Motorcycle Museum to the Stacey Jameson. But, you know, I'm just thrilled to be part of it. I'm thrilled to be back being part of it.
I suggest serving hot dogs on Saturdays.
Ooh, I'll come.
Coffee, too.
Yeah.
Spot to chill coffee.
I always do very well at the Quail Classic Motorcycle Gathering by serving gin and tonics. So maybe that's on the cards. I don't know. But yeah, a little hot dog machine. You know, just little knickknacks, but we'll get there.
So I just want to get this out of the way. I had a crazy idea. and I either need this to be encouraged or squashed. So I'm going to just throw this out there. And somewhat inspired by like Bagel and his rally, a bunch of people riding old scooters around. Earlier this week, Emma, I saw a rally of like 1960s Porsches driving up the coast.
Okay.
And I'm like, I kind of like taking the older vehicles and getting a group of people together. So you're all in on this together. If something goes wrong and you're all helping to fix it. And as I've been scrolling, just, you know, the ads, I'm seeing Gold Wings for pretty cheap.
There's a reason for that.
And I'm like,
there's a reason for that,
yeah. Like a $2,000 Gold Wing.
You should buy one.
And I'm thinking, that would be fun to get a group of people to buy old Gold Wings.
No, hang on.
It's like Gambler 500
I want to
stuff.
make it absolutely clear. I love Gold Wings.
Yes.
So I'm approaching this from a purely unbiased perspective. God, you can throw some money at Gold Wings.
Yeah.
They can suck up a lot of money, a huge amount of money. So Let's do and it's going to be a super brief history hole about Goldwing. Goldwing was introduced in 1975 as a flat four-cylinder, 1,000cc. Stayed 1,000cc until 1980 model year, so very end of 1979, when it became an 1100. And the 1100 hung out for a couple of years. I think 83 was the last 1100. And then late 83 and all through 84, 85, 86, it became a 1200. And then it became a six-cylinder in 88. And it was a 1,500cc. And that lasted up until 2002 or 3. Then it became an 1,800 flat six. The 1,800s are very, very good. The 1,500s sound good, but they do lack power.
Can I entice you?
Yeah, go on.
I just went on Craigslist.
Yeah.
And I found 3 Honda Goldwings in Boulder Creek that are, 2 of them are 1100s and one's a 1000cc.
Yeah.
And they're free. They're in a pile.
Oh, God.
And they're free.
Now, is the Valkyrie just a stripped down Goldwing?
Well, it is and it isn't. I mean, the Valkyrie...
But here's a complete running 1984 Goldwing for $1,500. And this is what I look at and I go like, ooh.
Would you like to know the problem?
Besides the water pump?
No, Goldwings don't have water pump problems.
Oh, okay.
Charging problems.
Oh, it needs a new battery.
There it is.
No, it doesn't.
Sure.
Needs a new alternator, and that's engine out. And actually, getting the engine out of a Goldwing isn't bad. It's just awkward because they're so big. You know, you basically get a jack under the engine. I'm sorry, I'm eating Maltesers now, and they're very good.
I'm just saying, I see these older running Goldwings, and I'm just like, that would be kind of fun.
I mean,
If it ran, it would. If it ran,
You're running. I'm not looking at it.
Right, yeah. And I mean, the thing is, if you get into it cheaply enough and you understand that, yes, I may have to pull the engine out of this thing, you know, maybe it's a good bet for you.
Okay. So I'm not hearing a no.
No, I'm saying yes. You should buy one.
But you have to get one
Sell
too.
that Africa Twin and get 2.
Well,
you could get 2.
Get 5.
Yeah, right.
Well, that brings me to the next thing. Jim, we got some bikes to sell.
Yes. Yeah.
So I've been cleaning up the Africa Twin.
Me too.
And yeah, you cleaned up yours, and you have an FZ1 for sale too.
They're both going up.
And I was
Hopefully
thinking,
I have a sleep number bed. Does that count?
It does.
I was thinking, I would like to do a listing on air as we're recording, and get the room to help pepper it up because I mean Emma knows how to sell a bike, right? So if you want to get your phone out, you could start your listing. So here's the deal: I'm going to list mine on Facebook Marketplace.
There you go.
And Jim, you're going to list yours on
Craigslist,
and we are going to throw up a picture of each other's bike with a link saying, "And if you're interested in 2, my buddy has one also."
Oh, we got to do this real time.
Yeah, let's do it.
I don't even know if I can.
Oh, you start. I'm going to start because I've already been filling mine out.
Oh, okay.
To give you
It'll
time.
probably take me a while.
Yeah, you're good. So, all right. So here's the deal, Emma.
Yes.
First thing I think is funny. So I'm filling out on Facebook Marketplace. It says type motorcycle, year 2018, make Honda. I go to model and it says Passport, Odyssey, or other.
It's another.
Like, what is going on already? I'm like, what? All right, it's an adventure, 1000cc. It is a manual. It's an automatic transmission.
Oh, yes.
Yep. All right, anti-lock brakes. All right, here's the thing that's great about my bike, at least. 60, I'm saying 6,200. It's really 61 something. 6,200 miles.
People aren't bothered about specifics.
So 6,200 miles. So Emma, all right, I'm ready for the description. Now I've already put in the title Honda Africa Twin or Africa Twin Adventure Sport DCT. Do I need to repeat that in the description?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
But you can put. Here's what I'd put.
All right, let's go.
Gorgeous. Red, white, and blue Honda Africa Twin.
Oh, you for the title?
Yes.
Oh, wait.
Oh, no. This is the description.
Gorgeous. Red, white, and blue.
Honda Africa Twin.
And blue, a Honda Africa Twin. Okay.
You can put ex-Honda staff bike, because it was.
No, this was a demo bike.
Oh, I wouldn't put that.
No, I'm not going to. No.
Lovingly cared for in my ownership.
Lovingly cared for. Ooh, I like that.
Yes.
Okay, in my ownership.
Rare automatic transmission model.
Is it rare?
Yes. It's rare if you tell people it's rare.
Rare, you said automatic transmission.
Yes.
Automatic transmission. All right, should I start listing the accessories?
No, because people aren't bothered by specifics. What they're interested in is complete adventure accessories.
Would you describe it as that, Jim? Complete adventure accessories?
Have you ever adventured on it?
Define the adventure.
Yeah, no, just complete line of adventure accessories included.
What?
Yeah, do you have crash bars, skid plate?
Yeah, all the
and
But those
boxes?
come stock on the Adventure Sport.
Yeah, but it's complete line of adventure accessories are included.
Okay. What else are things to add to this? So I'll rattle off like Corbin heated seat.
Yeah, and but don't get too specific because
Right.
people really want to know is it loaded? It's loaded.
SW Motec bag.
I wouldn't put the SW Motec, just put very high quality accessories.
Ooh.
Very high quality. Because SW Motec, it's German stuff. It's very good.
Very expensive.
Very good. Yes, I've crashed it well. Yeah.
Okay. And what else?
Needs nothing except a new owner.
Ready for adventure?
Yeah. Ready for and you can put your in capital, ready for your next adventure.
Your.
The horizon awaits.
Okay. So, what are some other good tips when you're listing something, Emma, that do you think get somebody's attention? What do you do?
Well, as I say, when I look at an ad for a bike, and I may be different because I know bikes, I'm not that interested in specifics. A lot of people will go, oh, I polish the cases with triple aught this and this. You're going into far too much detail. What people want to know is what sort of bike it is. Well, that's in the description. What color is it? Does it look good? Does it need anything? Does it need anything before they can enjoy it? Does it need servicing? Has it been taken care of?
Mm-hmm.
Does it have a clear title? And what are they going to use it for?
So I was thinking, since we're basically selling a very similar bike,
Yeah.
transmission's probably obviously the biggest difference.
Yeah.
But the way I would couch mine for sale would be ready for adventure. This bike is well maintained, set up, and ready to go on an adventure as soon as you are. Like, that would be the gist of mine, because like mine's sorted for totally sorted for camping, right? I can be like, it's been camping, I've had adventures on it, I've crashed it, you can see the bike holds up great, it's well maintained. So that, I think, to Emma's point, I think the way to sell it is be like, hey, have you wanted to do a Trans-America Trail trip? Have you wanted to do a what's the other one we do? The backcountry adventure routes,
Yeah.
right? This bike or our bikes, if you want to buy them both at the same time, both of these bikes are adventure ready. Like right now, you could put the key in it and you could take my bike to Montana and camp off it the whole time. So I think that's the selling point, and I think that's how you get people excited about it. And like Emma said, make sure it's clean. Make sure that you let them know that it's been well cared for and maintained, which they have been. especially because you only have 6,000 miles on yours.
I know.
Shame on you. But so what do we price them at? That's the question. So I bought mine for 10. You get yours for a little cheaper, didn't you?
We're not saying that.
Oh, I don't care.
No,
I don't give a shit.
So, yeah. So, Emma, does this sound right? So, I was going to list mine for 11 and accept 10.
Yeah, I think.
Do you think that's a fair price? Well, we need to see what.
Well, I saw there's one in Rancho Cordova, the same color as mine. You don't
Yeah.
see a lot of the black. So mine's a 2018 black, and it has low miles, like really low miles. And
Don't forget, gorgeous black paint scheme.
Yes, rare. Gorgeous, rare.
Well,
black
yours has got the
2018.
rare manual transmission.
Rare, yep, with the bronze tint, the bronze
No.
highlights.
Just, it's gorgeous black, rare manual transmission.
I like it. But yeah, I mean, I think that's it. Just sell them as ready to go adventure bikes.
Yeah. So, here's a 2016 DCT for 9,500.
Yeah, there's one in Rancho
yeah.
Cordova like mine with way low miles for 11.5.
And here's another. Here's another a 2016 for 9,700. So I think our price is about right. Here's somebody listing the Corbin heated seat for $500.
So
Nice.
Yeah. All right. So you set your price, and then I'll figure mine out.
And here's another 2016 DCT for 10.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that here's another 2016 for 10.5.
Well,
It
here's
looks
the
like
thing.
dealerships are listing them for like 12 and 13.
So I know we
Yeah.
talk about you don't get your money back from accessories, right? But you look at the
Yeah.
accessories that well, I can't speak for you, but that I've put on, for example, right? So I've got a flatline racing skid plate, so a proper skid plate, not the stock one that comes. I've got luggage racks, right? So I got GV
Yeah.
luggage right there. That's what $1,500.
yeah.
So that's a big deal if you really
And you
want to.
upgraded your suspension, right?
Yeah, upgrade suspension, Baja Designs light, GV cases.
I put lights on, yeah.
Proper hand guards, mirrors that don't break off, that kind of stuff. And you don't expect to get your money out of that, but again, the bike's it's set up to go adventure riding. You don't have to put any more money into it.
Yeah, it's selling points.
let's put this whole the accessory thing to bed.
Yeah.
Because I want to make sure that people understand the easiest bike to sell is always going to be the bone stock, immaculate, low mileage example. Because people know what they're getting.
Right.
That's always going to be the easiest bike to sell. Now, if you load it up with accessories, it can make it more appealing to a certain kind of buyer, but not more valuable.
Right. It might sell a little quicker if you push the
To a
right button.
certain kind of buyer. Now, as an example, I think we can all agree that Africa Twins are adventure bikes. So if you bolt on adventure accessories, especially high quality ones, without getting into specifics, and the reason why I don't think you should mention the fact that it's got SW Motec saddlebag mounts on it. Just all you do is high quality saddlebag mounts, because if you mention their SW Motec, you will get somebody who says, well, when I buy my Africa Twin, I'm going to put Givi mounts on it. And then immediately they'll say, oh, I've got to pull those things off. Whereas if you just say the high quality,
So just keep it vague and kind of like get the emotion. Like,
they
hey,
are
this-
high quality.
Yeah.
We know they're high quality. Don't get into real specifics.
I'll
with
tell
your
you
bike.
why that is important to me to specify SW Motec, because I didn't buy bags for this. I pulled my bags off my other bike. They transfer. So when you say SW Motec, if they have bags, they know that their bags will go on.
But if you don't say SW Motec, you're going to get somebody call. And they'll call and say, oh, I've got SW Motec bags. Will they fit your bike? Yes, they
So
will.
you're selling the bike.
But you're selling the bike. Now you've had the call.
So you're selling. You're leaving the rack on the bike, but you're keeping the saddlebags yourself.
Yeah.
So you've also painted someone into the corner where they can only use that saddlebag. now.
Right.
Yeah. Or you can take it off, but it just says, hey, it comes with these mounts. If you have the bags, great. It says bags not included.
But just remember, like every mother thinks her child is the most beautiful child. Every paint job is gorgeous. every bike is a very, very legit example of that bike. You know, every bike is in good condition until it's not. It's like every perp is innocent until they're proven guilty. So you want to make sure people know it's a gorgeous paint job. I mean, yours is a gorgeous looking bike.
Yeah.
Does that mean yours is not? No, yours is a really good looking bike too. It's absolutely drop dead gorgeous, but in a different way. So these are words to use, and if it's got high quality accessories on it, you tell them that they're high quality. No, I didn't bolt cheap Chinese crap on this bike. You know, it's got the high quality stuff on it.
Oh, okay.
And if you keep people, I've got these SW Motec bags at home, I wonder if they'll fit. Now they're calling you. And once you've got them on the phone, you can tell them about all the other great stuff about the bike, even if their Jivvy bags won't fit the SW Motec. If you say it's an SW Motec rack in the ad, they know their Jivvy bags won't fit, so they're not going to bother calling.
Actually, I think they will. These have universal. They have different holes on them.
That's just an example.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
I think what I kind of like about it is you stay vague, but you want to like find a way to get like inspire passion.
Right.
Like somehow, they're out looking for that. And
the same applies to
let them define it rather than you define it.
And the same applies to a great many things. If you ever had to, had the misfortune of having to write your resume, people go into the most minute detail about the most stupid aspects of their life. You keep it short, you keep it simple, you keep it to the point. Do you have a degree? Do you have work experience here? Do you have work experience here? Did you spend time in jail? Keep it short, keep it simple, because when you apply for that job, the person's going to be reading tons of these things, just as people are going to be reading tons of ads. Keep it short, keep it specific, keep people engaged. Words like gorgeous, rare, these help sell a bike. And in both of your cases, it's true. The Africa Twin's a rare bike, but you don't need to tell people it's a rare bike. Mm-hmm. The DCT ones are rare. The manual transmission ones are rare. It's a catch getting one of these things coming rare. Up. They're all rare. But you don't need to tell people they're all rare. Hey, I'm buying a DCT one. It's rare. And you know what? It's got a gorgeous paint job on it as well.
All right. Good tip. All right, so we'll get these listed. Hey, and if anyone out there is looking for an Africa Twin or...
You got to hype it better than that.
An FZ1...
Yes, with a rare Japanese OEM front fairing and a beautiful pearl metal flake.
And I'll tell you what, I'll throw a bone to any of our listeners if anybody wants to fly out to California and actually ride one of these bikes home. If you buy either of these Africa Twins and you don't beat up Jim too much over his price, or you don't beat up Liza too much over her price, I will give the bike a full service on the ramp at Mototown, so it's ready for you to ride home, and that's on me.
Thank you, Emma.
And if anybody wants a king-size sleep number bed, call me.
Yeah, that's it. So, and actually, you did the last service on my Africa Twin, so
yeah, there you go. So I'll do a service on either bike. The caveat is, don't beat up Liza too much on her price. Don't beat up Jim too much on his price. But if you want to fly down from Portland or something, or even from Seattle, or even from the East Coast, you want to fly in, you want to ride this thing home, the last of the good weather. And these are genuinely, country crossing bikes.
Yeah,
I will make sure it is serviced perfectly so you can actually collect it and ride it home with confidence.
What a deal. And whatever deal you make with Liza, I will pay you $25 more.
Thank you very much. Well, hey, Emma, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
What does an adventure bike have in common with a cafe racer, a scrambler, a flat tracker, and a chopper?
Well, these are all things that started off being modified in somebody's shed.
And then became a production bike.
Right.
This is something, John, you brought this you kind of brought this topic up, and I thought it was kind of interesting because these are all styles of bikes that started out as a street bike, that became modified by the public for a purpose or function, and then became so popular that it eventually became a production bike.
Well, you don't have to go back that far. 50s and 60s, when pretty much most bikes looked exactly the same, because a motorbike looked like a motorbike. And if you put knobby tires on it, then you rode it off-road.
Well, in fact, so I'm going to go back through this list. Emma, tell me what decade this style first came about. So, adventure bikes.
Oh, God, 80s.
Yeah, 80s, right? Okay. Cafe racers.
Late 50s, early 60s.
All right. Scramblers.
Same period.
That's more like 60s, 70s,
No. Going back, I would say scramblers predate cafe racers.
Really?
I'm going to go late 40s, 50s for scramblers.
Okay. Flat trackers.
Earlier. 30s,
Well, we
30s?
know at least
30s?
for
board trackers were first.
Yeah,
board
flat trackers
trackers
very
were
old,
first. Yeah, I would say probably similar timeline to scramblers, but flat trackers are far more an American thing.
Right.
So as the lonely Brit in here, I'm not really qualified to answer that. I'll go with like 40s, 50s.
Right. And choppers.
Choppers.
40s, right?
Post World War II, right?
Yeah.
Right. And the term chopper, and we've talked about this before, when the GIs came home, there was a glut of American military bikes, and in order to make them go faster, they chopped all the extraneous shit off them. And hence the term chopper. And if you look...
They were probably more bobbers then, weren't they?
Yeah, because they didn't do much in the way of extended forks.
Right.
But if you take a Harley-Davidson WLA 45 and you cut the back fender off, throw away the front fender, and it begins to look like a very, very early chopper.
All right, so we already were talking about Africa Twins, which is a perfect example of a production adventure bike.
Right.
Jim, can you name a production flat tracker?
FTR.
Very good. Can you name one, Emma?
Oh, gosh. Modern one, Svartbillen.
Ooh, that's a flat tracker?
I think it's a...
See, I was going to say Ascot.
That's the same thing.
I think you'd have to go with Sportster.
Modern era, but
Well, but I'm just saying, these are bikes that were styled. So, John, can you name a cafe racer, production cafe racer?
The Thruxton.
There you go. Or Emma?
Gorblimey 500.
There you go. And Bagel, can you name a production scrambler?
Ducati Scrambler?
Yeah, they're all called scramblers.
Okay.
that one is easy.
How about the Desert Scrambler X?
there you go.
There you go.
There you
Well
go.
done.
But here's what I find interesting. As Emma, you said, these decades, I mean, none of these are really that new, other than really Adventure is the newest, I'd say. These are all styles that have been around for decades and that have come and gone in fashion, right?
Right.
Oh, and we didn't say the chopper, the Fury, Honda Fury.
Yeah, Honda Fury is a great example of a
Factory
chopper.
So these are fashion styles that have come and gone. That I don't think they're going to go away. When people say, "Oh, cafe racers are back," I'm like, they never left, right? I've always been into them. But here's the question I have: what other styles fit that same bill? Can you think of any other styles?
Motard.
Oh,
Oh,
Supermoto.
Yeah, we did Supermotos.
Very good.
That's smart. Yep.
Production.
Yep.
Ooh. Are there any other styles? And I don't know if this exists in the scooter world at all, Bagel, but are there any other examples you can think of styles that started with the public?
Naked bikes.
And then went to
Yeah,
actual
legit.
production.
Yeah, like the Gixxers and pulling that off, and that became a thing.
Well,
Yeah.
those are what are now the Street Fighters.
Right.
The
They were crash Gixxers.
Yeah, Street Fighters, yeah.
and that actually started in the Midlands in the mid '80s, and
And
they
Bagel-
were all Gixxers.
What did you say, Bagel?
If you're talking about the scooter world,
Yeah, does anything like that exist?
I'm trying to think if
He's
there's
got a
anything
hike-
that
that
was started
thing right
out as a
behind you.
custom
So-
style.
Well, I mean, the only custom I can think is like Vespa Cross, but then there aren't any production.
No,
Right,
I think
there's no production.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think-
wait a minute. Well,
Yeah, the Honda.
what about
ADV.
the Honda ADV scooter?
not-
No, but
Okay.
That's not the
most
same kind of.
most scooter owners go in for heavy body modifications, to
Sure.
themselves not the scooters.
More the mod stuff.
Yeah.
Any others that you guys can think of? And we got look at all these examples around the room. I mean, I guess technically a dirt bike.
What were the Nikons born from?
Nikon? That's just
It's
somebody
just a
on
bad
an acid
dream.
trip. Yeah. I mean, I'm looking around the room. So here's the follow up.
Well, you could wonder if the Jim's bike, the 450L, was really a motocross bike with lights put on it, made street legal.
I mean,
It kind of went to it started
yeah.
there and then went backwards
Like
as opposed to going the other
enduro.
direction.
Yeah, true.
I know one.
Yeah.
The Honda Trail 70, Trail 90, Trail 110. Because that started out as a customized version of a Honda Cub that a dealer in Idaho was making and selling by the boatload.
Yeah.
And then Honda said, "That's a great idea. Let's build it."
Right. And it was always very popular with the outdoors people because it's a capable little bike. But it's quiet. It's quiet. So you can kind
Don't
of
scare the deer.
Sneak around.
What about
A trike?
what about the power cruisers? Like the VMAXs and the
I think those were not. I think those were just.
Yeah, I mean, the power cruisers,
I think came from the industry.
they've always occupied their own space.
exactly.
And it didn't really start off. If you want to look at the heritage of the power cruisers, you really need to look at the drag racing scene,
Right.
because
That's what the Rocket 3 reminds me of. Like
right,
Or
and,
V-Rod.
and I mean, I think to a certain extent, the V-Rod and the Rocket 3 actually occupy the same space, and they're kind of own things because it wasn't a customizing thing; it was actually a racing
Right.
thing. And Kawasaki actually named their bikes the Eliminators because, of course, they're basically drag bikes. So you've got the VMAX is king of them and always will be. Then you've got the Kawasaki Eliminators.
The Diavel.
And you've got the Honda Magnas
The Diavel.
and the Diavel. The Diavel made me do it.
Well, and the Rocket 3.
And I think the Rocket 3 actually kind of occupies that spot. If not when it came out, it certainly does now. But they're kind of like, they've always been their own thing. And the Yamaha Phasers and the Radians, I
And
think.
the one I mentioned earlier, the Honda, the six-cylinder, the
Valkyrie.
Valkyrie, thank you. Gosh.
yeah.
It's kind of a power cruiser, isn't it?
The Valkyrie, God, it's kind of,
No.
it's a bit chunky.
That goes in a different direction.
Really?
Yeah, I
You
mean,
think so?
I think I'm gonna stick my neck out. The Valkyrie is pretty much a straight cruiser.
I always had
Yeah.
a thing for that bike.
That goes in a different direction. Power cruisers are more sleek.
What do you put the Hayabusa in? Like, in all seriousness, it's not. Is it a sport bike
Yes,
or is it
it's
a
sport
tourer.
touring.
sport touring?
Sport
Okay.
touring.
Which
So-
is kind of another genre.
Here's the thing, though, that I find hard to believe that these styles that we listed are the only styles that they just keep coming and going in popularity. What's new? What's the next style that you think might then become production?
Other than electric, right?
Well, I was going to say what you see at the Peterson Museum a lot are these really symmetrical, electric, kind of geeky looking things. Like, I mean, the only thing new I've seen is that kind of stuff at the Peterson.
But those aren't customized, right?
Well, they're custom now, but they could be production. Like if the movie Sleeper ever came to real life, we'd be riding around on those.
Like, I don't think, I don't want to see Bratz as a production bike. Brat style.
Well, I mean, so what we're going to do now is we're going to kind of dive into the minutiae of the different genres. A Brat is a cafe racer. It's a form. It's a form of cafe racer. If you were to ask anyone who's built a Brat, "What's your bike?" They'll say, "Oh, it's a cafe racer," but it's done in a Brat style. And it's the same when you get into the choppers. You know, the Digger style. You know, what kind of chopper do you ride? Oh, I ride a Digger, which has got the long neck and then the steeper fork, so it looks like a Digger. I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to say we have exhausted all forms of customizing bikes, but it would be hard to come up unless you do something just ridiculously stupid.
Well, okay, so here's something that was
It'd be
common.
hard to come up with something
So
new.
a rat bike was common. That's something that hasn't been really produced, right? How do you produce a rat bike?
Here's one that's not in production. What's the Japanese?
The Bosuzuku?
Bosuzuku, yeah, those never became a production.
Well, there's a lot of
you're
reasons for that.
That is unique.
But it's like that's one of the few things that never became production, really.
Right.
I mean, in an odd way, that's like there's some biker clubs that have pretty like customized bikes when you roll up on them, and it's very similar. Like you can't take an HA motors like chopper and make it a production bike. It's just pure custom, and I think the Japanese club thing you're saying is very similar.
Right. Oh, actually, driving over here today, I was driving through Moss Landing, and Moss Landing is probably about halfway between Monterey and Santa Cruz. And
Home of the whole enchilada.
Yes. Little fishing town.
Used to be Phil's there too.
Yes.
Anymore.
But it's a fishing town. And coming the other way, there were at least 40 Honda Groms and monkeys. And it was obviously a club. And what was the most impressive? The two lead bikes were just pulling simultaneous wheelies.
Yeah, I had a feeling that was it. Awesome.
For,
Awesome.
as long as I could see them. So obviously they'd just perfected the wheelie and they were just wheeling these bikes for miles and miles and miles. But how's this pertinent? I think the platforms like the Groms and your Benelli and the monkey bikes give you so much scope for customizing. And I think perhaps altered wheelbase, small bikes.
Do you think some of the other, like the Himalaya or the Meteor, you think the smaller bikes will come into vogue and people start customizing those?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I just find it interesting that, there is not a lot of new creativity, right? But and you know what? Here, we didn't even mention this. Here's another style, vintage. And here you have Royal Enfields and Triumphs, and they're making new production vintage bikes, right? Yeah. So that's a whole nother style. But what's new out there?
Well, I'm talking out of class here, but Yuri came by with his new BMW fast bike, and what is the way that you can program modern bikes now is something I didn't even realize, like uphill engine braking, downhill engine braking,
right?
Have 3 different race modes and 3 different race modes, like the adjustability.
And BMWs in particular are extremely clever like that.
So that's something the bike looks like, similar to bikes have looked over in the last 20 or 30 years, but the technology shifts are pretty massive. So maybe that's where it lies. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess so.
Until the electric revolution happens, and then, who knows when that happens.
You may be right in that the electric is a whole new thing, and the electric bikes do have their own styles. They are definitely, like when you look at the Saunders and stuff like that, they definitely are being creative. But those are production. That's production leading style.
But fast forward, right? It's probably kids that are like the kids that were here at the garage today, 9-year-olds. It'll be them in 20 years.
Yeah, figuring
doing
that
stuff
out
that we can't even get our mind around right now.
Yeah, and I mean that's the most exciting thing for me, because I know he'll be thrilled if I mention him again. So hey, Cameron, what is going to be very exciting for the children is what they're going to be riding when they're 20, when they're 30, when they're 40. Can you imagine what mode of transportation is going to be around, say, for Sullivan when she's my age? Mm-hmm. So I'm 61. So we're talking in 52 years. Can you imagine the way technology is going? Yeah. What's going to be on offer to her?
We better frickin' have some flying cars by then.
We'd better.
Yeah.
I saw a thing, and this is a very, very real thing. Airbus is working on this, and I occasionally go on tangents about things that aren't motorcycles, but Airbus is working on an airliner with a clear fuselage.
Oh, really?
Oh, God.
And they're talking about that being out in 2050.
Really?
So can you imagine sitting on an airliner with a clear fuselage? Now, it's not going to be like you're in a glass tube, because, of course, there's going to be, it's going to be like a cage.
It's going to be vomit.
everywhere. It won't be clear that long.
But, well, no, it's an interactive material so that if you're in a storm, they can make it opaque and it'll look like a normal airliner. But if you're flying, say, on a clear starry night, they can
That'd be
actually
amazing, huh?
they can
Yeah, that would be
basically
cool.
make the fuselage clear.
Wow.
Wouldn't that be incredible?
Yes.
And stuff like this is happening.
You got like Joby working on.
We have materials like this now. So, no, it's going to be very, very cool.
Joby's working on air taxis.
Yeah, they fly over my shop all the time.
That could be a regular thing.
Yeah,
Really,
it's a goofy looking thing. It's like
a takeoff. It's a vertical takeoff.
It looks like a giant drone.
Yeah.
It's a big egg-shaped thing. Because I think it seats 9. Mm-hmm. So it's like a giant egg. And I want to say there's like 8 propellers that keep it aloft. But usually when it's flying around, it's got a helicopter either side of it, just...
It's all electric.
Yeah. But it's amazing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I have something I wanted to bring up. I don't know what to do with this. So I had some of my DMV renewals show up.
Oh.
One is for the Triumph 2012 Triumph, right?
Right.
That I paid $5,000 for,
Yes.
right? And the other one is for the 2018 Honda Africa Twin that needs to be renewed, which is worth about 10 grand, right? Hey, Emma, take a look at these and look at the amounts that the California DMV is charging me for them.
That's quite interesting, isn't it? So, we'll read it out. So, the Africa Twin is $173 for registration. Mm-hmm. And let's do the breakdown. That is $129 registration fee, $32 license fee, $12 district fee, and that comes to a total of $173. Now the Triumph, which is an older bike,
which is older and worth half the amount.
The registration fee is $159.
But what's the total?
License fee is now $36 because I'm sure it's a percentage of the license. County district is $12. $207.
That doesn't make any sense at all.
Can anybody explain that? So
tell me why.
I did go to the DMV fee calculator site where you can just put in year, make, model, and your zip code because your zip code does matter.
Yeah.
And that told me that the Africa Twin should be more. But it didn't make sense to me. I don't know how they're calculating these fees. It absolutely doesn't make sense that the Africa Twin is less to register than the Triumph.
No, it doesn't.
And what year are these bikes?
The Triumph is a 2011 and the Africa Twin is a 2018.
Okay, well, the year makes a difference because the licensing fee, I believe, is calculated based off of the age. So a 2011 bike is going to be a lot less than a 2018.
Nope, but this is the opposite.
It's the opposite around.
Really?
Yeah. Again,
That's
the Triumph was, 207? And the Africa Twin is 170.
Were the original sales? What were the original sales prices of those bikes?
That has already. This is a renewal.
Yeah, you've already paid the sales tax.
Yeah.
I know. But what was the original sales price on both of those bikes?
I bought the Africa Twin was twice of what the Triumph was.
And the Triumph they're charging more for.
Yes.
All
That's
I can
weird.
think of is, we're getting this more and more. These things aren't generated by humans; they're generated by
Algorithms.
Algorithms, and
Actuarial tables, probably.
yeah, and algorithms are very much fallible. And I'm not sure what you would do about it.
So
can't do anything about it.
Well, so this is something I brought up, and Jim, you pay a tax on your house every year. I remember when I had a house back in Atlanta, and whenever you'd buy a house, they would kind of reassess it and set new property taxes, and then you kind of get forgotten about. And you don't say anything, and it would take a long time for them to reassess and raise your property taxes. But that I remember somebody who challenged challenged their taxes, and then they were reassessed every year, and their price went up every year. And it was kind of the lesson of like, don't mess with downtown, because they will reassess you every year. And then there were a lot of people, though, they had to contest it. They're like, well, what are you making that valuation on? Like, how did you come to that amount? And people would contest it. I'm not saying I need to contest it, but I'm kind of see this and go like, what's going on?
You did a little bit of searching. They don't, in the fine print somewhere, say that, your registration, that one section, that your registration is this % of that or something. You would imagine somewhere deep in that government document, they would explain exactly how they do the math on that.
Well, a lot of these, the numbers came down to being the same. Like we've got all these little fees, $2, $3, They were all the same, like automatic tacked on.
Yeah.
But the fact that the registration fee, which is a base registration fee, is $30 more.
You should call
on the Triumph.
So the DMV says your vehicle's purchase price to declared value. Dates that
this is on renewal.
Yeah, renewal registration fees are based on your vehicle's purchase price and declared value. Dates, for example, the date you purchased your vehicle or the date your vehicle entered California, the city and or county you live in, the city and or county your business is based in.
These are all the things.
So I was curious, could it possibly be, and you don't think so, I know, but an emissions issue, like because it came from a different country that had to go through a different, more extensive testing for something like that. The Honda is the same thing.
No, because assuming these are California models, if they're not, they pay a one-time impact fee coming into California.
Is it because would the Triumph be heavier than the Africa Twin?
No.
Is the native value
the
both bikes
only
different?
thing I can think of is that the Triumph has, and again, it's the algorithm thing. The Triumph would be calculated to be a more valuable bike when new than the Honda. Now, in 2012, your Honda Africa Twin didn't exist. So, in that case, what the algorithm probably does is they take what the retail price of the Triumph was new in 2012, and then they extrapolate that to what it would be in 2018. And there's the value of your Africa Twin. And whatever it is, it comes out as more. I can't believe that a Triumph Scrambler would be more money than an Africa Twin.
I kind of feel like going down to the DMV and asking somebody to explain it.
I have a great fear you would be opening Pandora's box.
Yes, they'll say, "Oh, we should have charged you this extra fee for your Africa Twin."
Oh, but I already
Incidentally, you went on there. What did they say the Africa Twin you should be paying?
Sorry, say that again. Oh, I don't remember.
Well, don't mention.
But that was that was a general calculator that you could type in.
Just ask on the other bike. Don't worry about.
And both of these bikes are registered in Santa Cruz, the city of Santa Cruz, right?
Yeah. And again, so I kind of want to go to the DMV and I know I may be opening something up, but I want to ask because I want to know how they are calculating it. No.
Yeah. You can call them. You don't have to go down there.
Sounds fun. Sounds like a great
probably get a better answer.
Exactly. It's very interesting, though.
Well, hey guys, we have a lot of emails to catch up on. Jim, can you pull one out there? I gave you some. I always give you some easy to read ones.
I know normally they at least have pictures, but all right. Hey, we got Scoot to kick things off today. Cool. This is from Michael Kluman. Hey, friggin' mofos.
Oh, this is Kluman,
Yeah, Kluman, here from Northern Idaho. Just want to say hello from the Great Northwest. I recently in May bought a scooter.
Yay!
Hey. Emma, boo. Okay.
Nice.
1993 Yamaha Vino with 3,000 miles and a barn hidden, forget this, $300.
Oh.
He put 2,000 miles on it this summer, and I tell you, this thing is the shit. Never really thought I would be a scooter dude, but once you drink coffee in one hand and ride with the other, you're
exactly right.
But you know what? This blanking thing rules. I did take off the governor, thanks to YouTube. It's scary. I have a question for Bagel, though.
Okay.
Bagel, is this going to blank things up in my engine due to the high-ass RPMs? Still can't wait to see Emma's boobies. Emma, show your boobies to the mic.
Emma, pay attention. Did you hear what he just said?
Boy
They had a
band
booby
songs
request,
with
Emma.
Liza. So, or a boy band song if you could.
Yeah.
Just knees in the breeze, ding dongs, love clunin'. So yeah, taking the governor off of his Yamaha Vino. Will it mess it up running at high RPMs?
I'm not a Yamaha engineer, but a small bike like a Vino, if it has a governor, it's. And do you say this? Which CC size do you say this was?
Let's see. This is a 1993 Yamaha Vino. That's all I got.
It'll be a
80?
125.
125?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Vino, that Vino.
Rip
I
it.
don't-
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, take it
I'm
off.
the same.
Well,
Rip it.
hang on.
$300, man. Just go for it.
I mean, if,
Ride it like you stole it.
if you're okay with destroying it, you can give it a try and see what happens.
And let us know.
My thought is, if they're going to put a governor on a 125cc bike, they're putting it on there for a reason. That's not, not just because of some bureaucratic, prescription. This is because the engine is only designed to go to a certain RPM, and they don't want it to go above that because then it'll blow up.
So we agree. Take it off.
No, my advice would be, if you want to actually ride the bike, leave it on. But if you really feel like you want to take it off and go faster or something, maybe do a search on forums to see what other people have done to find out if there's a certain way you need to do it to disable the regulator without endangering the health of the motor. I would do research.
Yeah, go ahead and rip it.
Well, if that's the research you want to do, good luck.
As you said, it's a $300 Yamaha.
Like John said, let us know.
But here's
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Yeah.
here's my take, and it really applies to all scooters, not just Yamaha Vinos. Most scooters have a very, very small oil capacity. They take a litre of oil. So don't be a cheapskate on the oil. Put really good quality oil in it. Every scooter that comes down my shop, I always give people the option. I say, hey, look, I've got $12 a quart oil or $12 a litre oil. I've got $31 a litre oil. For the extra $20, $19, get the Motul 300V, and I'll put it in, and every single one says, oh, that oil is great, my bike's smoother, it's quieter, blah, 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 blah. So it's a good investment. Put really good quality oil in them. If you've got a bike, or a car with like 9 quarts capacity, yeah, it's a big difference, coughing up for expensive oil. But if it only takes 1 quart, just cough up for the good stuff.
Yeah.
And that would certainly help a high revving engine. How about that?
All right, cool.
Good advice.
All right, Emma, you got one there to read?
Right, let's have a look. No, I'm going to come back to Eric's. I am going to read Eric's. Let's do a quickie. Hey, Emma, why does this bike have both an electric starter and a Kickstarter?
Right.
And that is, these are Motorcycle and Beards guys. Brand new 1975 Norton Commando. Well, a lot of bikes had kickstarts and electric starts back in the mid-70s. And the reason being, electric start technology was very, very new. And more importantly, battery technology to start the bikes was very, very new. So virtually every electric start bike out there came with a kickstart.
Yeah.
Just in case you needed it. Now, some of the bigger capacity bikes, like the Honda Goldwing and the Yamaha XS 1100, had a hidden kickstart. And the Goldwing had a hidden kickstart under the shelter, where the fuel tank normally is. You take it out and you kind of plug it into a hole and kickstart the bike. And the XS 1100, it was underneath the side panel on the right-hand side.
I had one of those. I never do that.
Yeah, and you reach under and you pull out the kickstart, bolt it on, and then boom, off you go. So a lot of bikes back then, not just the Norton, had an electric and kickstart. Where the Norton differed, Norton really didn't have a great deal of faith in their electric start. And although the bike actually said, excuse me, electric starter on the side panel, it was described in the workshop manual as a Kickstarter assist. The idea being you press the electric start while you were kicking a bike.
Because it was made by Lucas.
Yeah, there was a period of what, like 5-10 years, and almost every bike had both.
Every bike had both. And by the
Yeah.
early 80s, I mean, Japan was so confident in their ability of starting. You know, there's no point in having a Kickstarter on a bike anymore.
My Amigo has both.
Yeah.
It does.
And, you know, when I see a big old road burner like an early GS1000 or an XS11, and it's got a kickstart on it, I always think that's quite charming. And it's always good at a bike night if you're on a big 1000cc bike and you punt it into life on a kickstart. People are like, oh, that's cool.
Bagel, how many of your scooters have both?
Ooh, that is a really good question. The Stella has both.
Because it's pretty common on scooters, too.
The Passport has both.
Yeah.
I must admit, I find
I'm not sure any others do.
Okay.
Yeah, I
But-
find
but-
that
but- but-
kickstarts fitted on
The small-
Vespa's paw.
Oh.
Well, it depends. The modern Vespas that have kickstarts, specifically the ET4 and the LX, are pretty much worthless
Paw.
because well, first of all, on the ET4, if you kick the Kickstarter too hard, it would crack the transmission belt case. But also, because these bikes were electronic ignition, if your battery was dead, you're not getting any spark anyway, so the Kickstarter does you no good.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wish they would put more Kickstarters on bikes. It's a good backup system.
It is, and you know, punting a bike into life, I like the whole process of it.
Well, if you can do that, because the thing is that all bikes these days pretty much have electronic ignition, right? I mean, are there any bikes still sold with points?
Yeah, but there are modern electronic ignitions that work on a discharge system. You can actually, they're self-generating. So
If they're self-generating, then that's doable. But
Which means with
it
one
seems like
kick
a lot
gets
of them are
juice in and you kick again?
yeah, exactly. You juice it up with one kick, and then second kick, boom, you light it off. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Cool. All right, John, you got one there.
Yeah, I love this email.
There's a lot of good ones in this batch.
Yeah.
There's some good questions, too.
This might be my favorite email ever. This is from Dean.
Yes.
Oh, Dino.
Dean, you're going to like this one.
Hi, love your podcast. I discovered it while watching Ride with Norman, and I have a question for you all. So, I am 13, and I'm looking for a bike. I really like choppers, but that is expensive. So, what do you have in mind? And I live in Florida, so I can't wait until I'm 16.
Oh, God, that's the easiest thing in the world, Dean. So, if you...
Hayabusa is what I'm thinking.
stretch booster.
No, if you look at... he likes choppers, right?
He does.
So, you want something you can ride on the street, which means a bicycle. You want to have a look at California Hispanic culture and lowrider bicycles.
Right.
These things are the coolest things
That
in
is
the
cool,
world.
but
True.
but he's thinking motorcycle.
Yeah, but
so-
he wants a motorcycle.
Well, but he's 13.
Yeah, right.
Wait a couple of
Right.
years.
But can I make a
But he could
suggestion?
build one up.
Can I make a suggestion?
Let's just assume he's 16.
Yes. No. This is a perfect thing at this age to start going to swap meets
Yes.
and buying parts.
Yeah.
Get a frame. Get some wheels. This is something that you can build over the years and learn everything about that bike. And especially when you're talking about Harley parts, you can get a lot of these parts, put them together.
You see, you didn't let me finish. But you see, my thought is if he explores the Hispanic bicycle culture, particularly of Southern California, and gets lowrider bicycle going, now he can ride it around. Now he can start going to wrecking yards and find himself a little motor for it and put a motor in that and actually and build his own thing.
Now, unless Florida laws have changed, when I was 15 in Florida,
Yes.
you could ride at 15 years old. You could ride something up to, they said, 5 brake horsepower. I rode a 175 because nobody can tell how many brake horsepower is in any bike in the world. But that gives him an option in 2 years if that's the law right now. And he could find a Grom would be great.
But
There's
I mean,
lots of stuff.
the fact that we have a child of this age listening to our podcast and actually taking advice from us, I think is a win for everyone.
Exactly.
And your idea I love because if you don't
Go ahead.
I was going to
Finish.
say, if you don't know the bicycle culture stuff Emma's referring to,
It's super
killer.
cool. Yeah.
It's super custom.
Oh, yeah.
It's super tough.
Yep.
It's tough as F. And then, like you said, you could slap a little weed eater motor on there.
Yeah,
Just
exactly. And he's
start
rolling.
ripping around.
And he's the
you'll
cool-
have the coolest. Yeah.
You know what? If that
I want
kid,
one.
if Dean showed up at school on a SoCal
big
lowrider
spoke
bicycle,
tires.
right,
Big spoke
with
wheels.
a weed eater motor on it, oh man, he
Oh,
would be
man.
getting all the girls throwing themselves all over him.
What you got, Bagel?
Yeah, well, I was going to say something along those lines, like a Whizzer clone would probably be a good place
yeah.
to start because it's basically a bicycle with a small motor. And those things, I imagine in Florida, don't require a license, and you can just ride them around, as
You can
like
buy
a
those
moped.
motor kits.
Right?
Right, exactly, and that's something that you can tinker with. You can get you get your teeth into with learning how to wrench, how things go together, how it handles, how the affects the performance. It's a lot of the basics you're going to need to know about motorcycling if you're just getting into it. I would recommend staying away from like flea markets and swap meets because you're going to find stuff that people are just going to want to sell you there. They're not going to want to sell you something that you're going to actually be able to work with.
So you're saying like yard sales and stuff? Or...
If he has a good community around him, though, he can help.
If I would say, do the research, meet people, start learning about what options are out there and what bikes are good to work with, and find out, what's a good direction you want to go in. Don't just say, I want a chopper. Say, I like this bike and I want to customize it, make it into a chopper, make it into a cafe racer, whatever style you want. But start with a bike that is a good bike and go from there.
Right.
Don't just buy junk and try to make it run because you're just going to be chasing all kinds of problems constantly and you're never going to get it running. And it's going to end in frustration.
I love the suggestion from you too on the short term. Get the motor kit and a bicycle. You can customize the bicycle.
Yeah.
And oftentimes they're called like a Whizzer motor kit.
Yeah, and
Or you could
check
just-
Florida laws to see what how that fits in and things. But that might be one of those things in Florida that you can kind of slip in between the cracks, and you don't need to license it. You don't need a license for it. You can just ride it around.
Or
Maybe
he could do kind of what I did too: is buy a dirt bike, depending on where he's at in Florida,
And just ride
learn
around.
how to ride for a couple years,
Yeah.
beat that thing in the dirt, and then buy a real motorcycle when you're 16.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
And I have a top tip. Dean, I have a top tip for you. So if some scary-looking old biker chick comes up to you and says, "Hey, kid, give me some money," and turn out your pockets, just like get the bottom lip going, "I don't have any money. See my dad." Top tip, all right?
Turn out those pockets quick or you're going to get slapped.
I've got a top tip for you.
Oh, yeah.
How can a kid that age earn money quick?
Paper round.
No.
Yeah, not anymore.
Offer to wash bikes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like in our garage, whenever we get a young kid, I'm like, look, people will pay like $40-$60. You spend 30 minutes cleaning it. That's quick money.
You know what?
And you can learn more about the bikes.
You know what I genuinely thought you were going to say?
Like,
Oh no!
Honestly, I thought you were genuinely going to
No.
say throw a brick through a jeweler's window.
that way you're meeting
make 300 or
bikers.
400
But
And you know, if you wash bikes, and especially if you do a good job, it's a way of ingratiating yourself with the local motorcycle community.
yeah,
You know,
There's a bunch of Harley guys in
and raise
Florida.
and
money.
if they think you're cool,
Yep.
you
and
probably
be
are.
sure to keep your money in your socks so that when you do get shaken down by that biker chick, you can turn out your pocket to say, "I don't have anything."
Yeah, but it's all in your socks.
Didn't you say, have you ever
Exactly.
kissed a bunny?
What?
All right, Bagel. Do you have one
Yes.
there to read? All
I do.
right, what you got?
I have an email here from Keith Alstrom.
Keith.
And Keith writes, I was just listening to episode 477.
Where's Keith from? Is he a canoe
Or is he just getting a
guy?
random
He's from
accent?
Alberta, Canada.
Oh, sure he is now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, nah.
And he says, I was just listening to episode 477,
Nor'easter.
This is a while ago. Okay.
and Miss Emma brought up the gluteus. I mean, the gladius.
Yes.
This sent me to the interwebs to look at it again. I spent an inordinate amount of time looking at pictures of this much maligned motorcycle, but I figured it out. I know now what bothers me about the SVF 650 Gladius. If you're looking at it from the side, the bodywork particularly the two-tone livery, looks like the bike was at a standstill and was violently rear-ended by a Hummer going 120 kilometers per hour. The rider's ovaries or testicles were then ejected from their body, shot forward at great speed, and slapped against the tank, where they will forever rest. When you then swing yourself around to the front of the bike and look at the headlight, all I see is a vagina pushing out a big light.
Oh no,
Dean, you can stop listening right now.
What was your?
There's even a clitoral hood at the top.
Oh.
To top it off, the housing above the light around the instrument cluster looks like a merkin.
Dean, do not Google any of these words you don't understand.
Exactly.
AKA a pubic wig.
Or that one.
Come on. Tell me someone at Suzuki wasn't taking the piss when they designed this one. What a strange, strange bike. Or maybe the Gladius is the Rorschach test of the motorcycle world, and then you see what you want in it. I've been toying with the idea of replacing my 2003 GS 500E. Should I get a Gladius?
yes.
Thanks for your time. And if I get a Gladius, I will ride down from the sticks of Alberta, Canada, and say hello.
Well, if you can get yourself out of bed with it.
We should maybe do a thing on the Gladius.
Maybe you need a Gladius, not a Lycan.
Not right now.
No,
But that's a whole
it's
thing.
it's a whole thing, and it's a perfect example of how a bike can be so right and yet so wrong. Because make no mistake, the Gladius is an amazingly capable bike. It was born from arguably one of the greatest bikes ever made. You know, middleweights ever made, the SV 650.
Yep.
And it should have been
right.
the SV 650's finest swan song.
But you may as well
And
name
yet
it
it
the
wasn't.
Jizz Wiper.
So, yeah, no, I think we should explore
I would love to talk
that.
because I remember when that came out. I remember the lashback from the public. Let's save it. But I would say, yes, I agree. It is a good bike. And just like the Corvair, because of its public shame,
Right.
you can get them cheap.
Right.
If you can find it, you can get it cheap.
It's like the R1200C.
But I was going to say, if he does get a Gladius, he should redo that shot that Emma did in the bed where he's sitting lying next to the bike in bed.
Well, yes, exactly.
Right.
All right. I have one here. It's a long one, but it's a good one.
Okay.
So
How about it?
So actually, well, you know what? Let me save that one. Let me do this one.
Wow.
So this one is from Matthew. I was listening to the Misfits podcast number 539 today, Liza's Dream UK Moto Adventure. Sounds like a lot of fun. Some friends and I are planning a Castles and Curves tour in 2025, if we're still alive that far into the future. Emma mentioned sending in rides that might be interesting. So here's one that I do on a fairly regular basis to get out of the house. All right, listen up. Northern California.
Oh.
I live in Auburn. So this is about a 5-hour loop for me.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
Okay. Add a couple of hours for Santa Cruzans to get to and from the start point, which is at the Clipper Gap exit of 80, just 3 miles east of downtown Auburn.
I know it.
Okay. Anyway, it consists of a leisurely cruise through some rural neighborhoods through downtown Grass Valley and Nevada City, which is very beautiful. Mm-hmm. Then up Highway 20 to the Highway 80 junction at Yuba Gap. Then a short stint on Highway 80. I usually get off at Cisco Grover and take Old Highway 40, which parallels 80. Then around Soda Springs and down to Donner Lake on the old highway.
Yep.
Continuing on off highway up to Tahoe Donner, a Truckee subdivision, ending up on 89 North to the Sierraville, then west on 49 and back to Grass Valley. This last section is absolutely incredible and the ultimate gem of the ride. There is a sign just out of Sierraville stating, "Bikers beware, Dead Man's Curves next 15 miles."
Ooh.
Ooh. But the next
like fun.
45 miles are spectacular. If ever there was a sign that would encourage bikers to continue, that's the one. Not sure how to send a better route to you, plus a photo or two of the ride. Any help is appreciated. Hope you get a chance to hit this loop sometime. P.S. You'll be seeing me sometime at the shop. I plan to make a pilgrimage to Santa Cruz in the near future. Love the podcast. From Matt.
What kind of bike does he ride? Does it say?
It does not.
Because if he doesn't have a dual sport, he should have a dual sport.
Exactly, up there.
I'm likely to think he does.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
wait. He sent a picture of the loop, of the Sierraville loop. Oh, thank you. Yeah, he sent a map and stuff.
yeah.
Oh,
I know the area up there. It is beautiful.
That
up
is.
It is
there.
beautiful, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that gets me
get a bike
inspired.
that
Like,
goes off road too.
Jim, we go and do like a little 2-hour ride. I'm like, maybe it's time to go do like a 6-hour ride, like a proper, like the stuff Bagel
Stuff you
does.
could use in an Africa Twin for, right?
Or like riding up to Tahoe,
went
like we
down
did that
to,
one time.
Our friend down there at in Central California. That was a good
Yep.
6-7 hour loop.
All right, let's do another round. Jim, you got one there?
Hey, I do, and this is from Dave Inte. If I'm getting
Dave
it.
Ennett.
Yeah, Dave Ennett. Sorry
Yeah.
about that. Hey, Real Biker Quiz Editions.
Okay, yeah.
All right, a couple of more.
We got
more
a lot of
additions
feedback
to
from
it.
this.
Oh, I'm sure. Have you purchased more than 5 10-millimeter sockets for wrenching on your bike?
Yes.
Yeah. Have you done a border crossing?
Yes.
Let's say international border. Yeah. Have you caused your exhaust header to glow bright orange?
No.
I'll take it up one. Have you lit a cigarette off a orange header? Have you ever bought a motorcycle that you previously owned? Literally the same bike.
No, not the same bike.
You did.
Not the same.
KLR.
I didn't buy a bike that
you
I
had two.
previously. No, but he's saying the
He's
exact
like
same
literally
bike.
the
I
same
did.
one.
Yeah, that you buy back a bike you
Oh,
once
okay,
sold.
okay.
Yeah, no, I did. The
Yeah,
Guzzi.
the Gucci,
Yeah, you did, yeah.
Have you ever been given an ultimatum to choose between your motorcycle and your relationship?
Yes.
Have you, John? Would that be a box for you yet?
Yeah, I'm there. I'm bumping up against that limit right now. Talk about a limiter. There it is.
That's it. Okay. And do you have clothing that is specifically for wearing while wrenching on your bike? I mean, clothing
Yes.
that if you significantly, well, you don't count.
I'm wearing it today.
You're wrenching on your bike, eating shrimp, it's always the same thing. I mean, clothing that if your significant other saw you wearing in public, they would give you the ultimatum to choose between your motorcycle and your relationship. So there's some additions. So Dave.
Yeah,
and
so a lot of
Lana.
people, Emma, if you didn't know, I posted we redid the,
Yes.
Real Biker Quiz. Oh, that's right. Emma, you took it. There was one you weren't sure about, though.
No, I scored one, and then I reviewed it because I realised I haven't had sex on a bike. I've had sex with a bike.
And then I said,
And it became zero.
that's
Were you on it
no,
when you had it?
Sex with a bike is an automatic 50 points.
So I get 50
Yeah,
points.
you
So
win.
that's legit.
You win.
It's like shoots a ladder. Just go straight to the end. Nice. All right, Emma, do you have one there to read?
I do, and this is a short one too. Howdy, Misfits.
Hey.
I have written. No, hang on. This is from T Jordan 16. So I'm not
They
sure.
call him Teabagger.
Yeah. Mighty.
Oh, my gosh.
It's getting late in the podcast.
Getting a little punchy over here.
Howdy, Misfits. I've written a couple of times asking different questions about a first bike for my wife.
Yes.
Took all the great advice into consideration, had her sit on a bunch, and looked around for a good deal until we finally found it! Exclamation point. She picked out this black 2019 Yamaha R3 that she
good
promptly,
choice.
Nice.
promptly named Raven. You have a best friend called
do.
Raven. I also got her signed up for the MSF course because of your advice. Thank you for all your help answering all my questions and giving advice to me and my wife. She is very excited for the rides ahead. And I think
bet
she
it- is
needs
there-
to be excited. And
there a
there's
picture of it?
There is a picture of, and I think he's got a Gladius. I think that is a Gladius. Yeah,
I think it is.
Yeah, it's a Gladius.
How ironic is that?
It is ironic. Great looking one because he's done all right things to it. But look how happy she looks on that R3.
I'm looking at the Gladius first. Aw, very
Yeah.
happy.
That comes like all
Yeah, that's
ABS
great.
and all that kind of stuff.
Super.
Yeah, the
those
R-
are great little
Yeah,
bikes.
great.
No,
little
the R3s, the you know
It's
the
a tough looking little bike.
Yeah, they
yeah. Well done.
Yeah.
Nice.
yeah.
All right, John, you got one there?
I do. This is from Gus.
Hey, Gus.
Gus.
Hey, guys. Couple
Get on
girls
the
here,
bus,
but okay,
Gus.
we'll go with
Remember
that.
that song?
I was looking for some ideas for a new bike. I finally got my 85 VMAX running perfectly, but honestly, I want something more tame.
Gladius.
It's
Bike of
it's
the
an
night.
awesome bike, and it's totally kick ass, but not very good for taking the kids on a Sunday cruise friendly.
Yeah.
I was thinking about getting a Harley because it's what most of my friends ride, but it's not really in the budget. I'm in Western Massachusetts. So we are heading into the end of the riding season and the best time to buy. Here's the dilemma. Ideally, I'd like a straight up trade for the VMAX or something else. So sell it and buy what I can sell it for. Price ranges on VMAXs around here vary from 2,000 to 6,000, so I'm not sure what to list it for.
Okay.
With all the work I've done to it, I'd like to get around 4K or a bike that's worth that. I'd prefer mid controls, and if it's fuel injected because of the maintenance on carbs between riding seasons is obnoxious, and I don't really care all that much. Keep in mind that I'm 6 foot and about 300 pounds, so we need torque. Haha. Any ideas would be greatly appreciated.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Oh, I have one that came to mind.
Go on.
Hear me out. Triumph America.
Ooh, it's a
Well,
cruiser.
Because
He wants us Harley,
his
though.
friends ride Harleys. He needs something at a budget. Triumph Americas are great bikes that aren't that popular, so you're going to get them in that price range.
Yeah.
But it's got enough juice to do what you need.
You could buy just a regular.
It's basically a cruiser Bonneville.
Right.
You could buy a straight Bonnie for that too. Then
Yeah, he could.
But the America's a little more comfortable and will fit in riding with your friends on cruisers.
Right.
Just saying.
My suggestion, and it's a suggestion I've made many, many times before to other people, Bandit.
yeah,
You know,
But he's riding with friends on Harleys.
doesn't forget the Harley guys because he's got the big, comfortable sit-up bike. Bandits, for all their speed, are very tame bikes. They'll do exactly what you want of them. Super comfortable. He'll be sitting upright. They'll do all the things. More importantly, that $4,000 going to buy him a really late model fuel injected 2012 or above 1250. So he's going to get a lot of bike for his buck.
What about because we talk about these two like a big V Star?
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
power's not. He doesn't want power.
V-Star's smaller. You'd want the other Star
Or
lines.
whatever the Star.
But here's the reason I also said Triumph. We all think that the metric cruisers are great bikes, and you can get them at a budget. But when your friends are like Harley riders, they don't get that as much respect. Mm-hmm. But I figured that the Triumph America is kind of unique. And so it's not looked down upon like a lot of the metric cruisers are from the Harley community.
and funnily enough,
And it has America in the title.
right. But a lot of my thinking was that's why I think he might squeak by on a Bandit, because it's not pretending to be a Harley. I think the major argument amongst Harley riders from metric cruisers is, hey, this thing's styled just like a Harley. It's a wannabe Harley, which isn't entirely true.
Right.
But that's the argument. If he shows up on a big-ass Bandit or a Z-Rex 1200, it's its own thing. I mean, these are just big, badass, standard bikes.
What about the R bike, the C from BMW? What is it, 1250 or 1150?
The Cruiser?
Yeah.
It's an odd-looking thing.
All right, I have one more suggestion.
Oh, it's very odd. Yes.
I got one more. Okay.
An old Goldwing.
Oh!
Or a lovely Africa Twin.
There you go.
Yeah, what's your suggestion?
Bonneville Speedmaster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll get one in his $4,000 budget, though. Stretch Booser.
All right.
Africa Twin it is.
Bagel, you got one there?
I do. I have an email from Kevin Garrett, and he writes, Hey,
Hey.
Misfits. Kevin here. Love the show. Dropped by years ago on a Sunday, but Miss Emma wasn't there, so I never came back. Just kidding. I did like the shrine to her, though. A half-empty gin bottle next to a can of rust repair.
That's
And
about right.
Personal hygiene.
Regarding peak analog bikes, agree with the KLR. I have owned 4 or 5 over the years. Another option, 1,000 to 1,200 cc Goldwings, very reliable. No computers and most of the most basic of electronics. Also, for a definition of analog bikes, If it uses CAN bus, it ain't analog. And thanks for all the hours of fun and information and everything. Love, peace, and tacos, Kevin.
So, Emma, this came up from last week. There was an email that we read. Somebody said, "What is the best what was the peak of analog bikes?" Right, and so we were saying probably like KLRs because they're a modern analog bike.
Well,
And
I
they're-
don't
and
necessarily
so-
that's the peak, though.
Well, but like it was like, what's a modern analog bike? And so KLRs. So we were talking about other
DRZ,
analog bikes, DRZ, those kind of things. But
No, I would have answered very, very differently. I think, see, in my opinion, the peak of analog bikes and the peak period for analog bikes is Rufus. And the reason why Rufus is a peak analog bike, Rufus has a tiny, tiny ECU that controls the sparks. It's carbureted, it's 130 horsepower, it does everything a modern bike can do, but it's essentially incredibly simple. The Speedo is driven by a cable. The Taco is driven, actually it's not, it's driven electronically, but it's an incredibly simple bike. I'd almost argue that Jim's FC1 is it's got a fuel injection, but it's essentially an incredibly simple bike. It's as simple as Rufus, just with fuel injection. So, in terms of performance, the late 90s, the mid to late 90s, I think was the peak of the simple bikes. After that, ABS started coming in, fuel injection started coming in, traction control started coming in, interactive suspension started coming in. All the electronics came in. And of course, CAN bus, which has been around for 50 years in the automobile industry, has started coming in a big way in bikes. But yeah, that sort of mid to late 90s is very much a halcyon period. Yeah. And I think if we look back at all forms of transportation, I think the mid to late 90s really, they're going to be regarded as the golden age of when things made the most power with the less electronic intrusion. If you ever want to read something interesting, watch Guy Martin talk about truck engines.
yeah,
And he gets into this thing. I can't remember if it was a DAF or a MAN, an MAN. I think it was an MAN. The best truck engine ever made was this MAN from, I think you want to say 97. Just a massive powerhouse of an engine without much in the way of smog controls. And it existed in that time, but it couldn't exist in any other time because it had all the technology that led up to that point. And then after that point, all the technology took all the power away and made it cleaner.
Yeah.
So there you go.
There you go. Well, thank you very much. John and Jim, you have a big adventure coming up.
We do.
This week. What bikes are you taking?
A couple weeks. I'm taking a DRZ.
Oh,
Yeah, 450.
the 450? Perfectly suited.
Well, desert season is upon us. So, yeah, it's time. The weather's nice.
Time to
the
get
temps
naked
are right.
at night and howl at the moon.
It's going to get freaky. There could be some fireworks on this trip.
Yeah, we've had a
Literal fireworks.
couple listeners hit me up and are interested in coming. So
Yeah,
if you
come on
are,
down. Yeah.
it's
cool.
open. It's a big desert.
Johnson Valley.
Johnson Valley.
So Johnson Valley OHV, this is south of Barstow, about 45 minutes.
You can see Naked Jim's Johnson in Johnson Valley.
Yeah.
Stop.
It's great riding, though. It's extremely varied. Everything from deep sand, obviously, to rocky terrain, to technical, to not. Yeah, it's a hoot. Beautiful out there.
Cool. And you both got your bikes diddled by Emma. And
She diddled me
fixed today.
good today. Yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh.
so you got your hanging idle done, and we put some new brake pads
And
in.
so did Jim.
My
And
hanging throttle.
Yeah.
yeah, your hanging throttle was easy
You just had to
peasy.
bend smashed things.
Yeah, you saw me bend a barkbuster on my knee.
Did.
Nice. Well, I have a little bit of an announcement to make since
Yes.
it is October. We're sliding into the end of the year. I'm putting their T-shirts on sale. I want to sell them out at the end of the year.
Blowout.
So go to motorcyclesandmisfits.com and you can click on shop our store or whatever. Yeah, you'll find it.
Yes.
I'm going to put them on sale. So this is the time if you're ever thinking of getting one, or if you don't have, there's unlimited sizes, mostly like larges and extra larges, and there's 2 different designs.
Okay.
But I want to blow them out because, I always come out with a new shirt every year. So these are all limited designs. So go to motorcyclesandmisfits.com. You'll find the links to everything there. Hopefully you guys will post to Instagram.
I will,
on
yeah,
the trip.
for sure.
So I'll look for that.
I got a picture of Cameron up there right now. So if anyone wants to see him, he's on Instagram.
Nice.
And I want to make sure, we received an email from Eric, and it's a very thoughtful email. We're not blowing you off, Eric. I'm going to read it next week.
Yeah.
Because this deserves discussion.
Good. And Jenna sent me a very nice email that I'm saving also.
So we've got a couple of heavyweight emails coming next week.
Well, again, glad you're all back in the room together again. It's nice having y'all. Time to wrap it up. Motorcyclesmisfits.com. That's where to go. Ready to get out of here? Thanks, everybody. This is Liza.
Stumpy John.
Emma, darling.
Nick and Jim.
Bagel.
And we are out of here.
Cool.